Welcome to Kleschka Picks Week 6, everybody. Yes, welcome everybody. If you did not get that, that was a reference towards Aaron Rodgers. Not just Aaron Rodgers, but it was to kind of symbolize all the quarterbacks that got hurt over this week. Aaron Rodgers, of course, being the most crazy and most important with the broken collarbone. But there were others. Jameis Winston was removed from the game last week for Tampa. Trevor Siemian suffered some injury, but it looks like they're both going to be playing this week. But yeah, it was just crazy, and football continues to be crazy. It's just like, all right, let me start with the Kansas City Chiefs and the Oakland Raiders for that Thursday night football game. The Raiders last week, what did they do? They lost to the Chargers. And the Chiefs, their very first loss of the season, to the Steelers.
What is wrong with football?
The Steelers lose to the Bears. The Steelers, who they lose to a couple weeks ago, that was also shocking. They also lost to the Jaguars, but then they can go and beat the undefeated Chiefs. Not undefeated anymore, but like,
what?
I don't get football. Anyways, the Raiders have been up and down. The Chiefs have been dominant all season. I feel like the Chiefs will get the win on Thursday Night Football, 24-17. All right, my Seahawks against the New York Giants, who also came away with a crazy win last week. The Giants looked very disappointing all season. Then they go to play the Denver Broncos, a good team, and they win? And Seattle was on a bye week last week, and I feel like that's the reason we're going to win. I feel like we had a week to refresh because we've had kind of a struggle this season, I'll admit. And I feel like we've had that week to kind of like think, and we're going to go back on track. And I feel like the Giants, I feel like we can beat them 20-17. Okay, and the Bills, who I thought were going to be an amazing team, but then they lose to the Bengals in week 5 after beating the Falcons and the Broncos. Like, why are teams not consistent this season? That's what I don't get. And they're playing the Buccaneers, and the Buccaneers lost last week to Arizona. What? And so Jameis Winston is also hurt. They also have other players on the team that's hurt. I feel like the Bills are having a good season, and Tampa's just has so many problems right now that I don't see them coming away with this win. I see the Bills winning 34-14. The Panthers lost to the Eagles on last week's Thursday Night Football, and the Bears beat the Ravens. I think the Panthers are the more dominant and complete team at the moment, and I see them winning 23-20. Titans got the win on Monday Night Football over the Indianapolis Colts, still without Andrew Luck. And the Browns lost to the Texans. The Browns, I mean, this is easy. I think Titans will win. Where is it? I think Titans will win 31-13. The Browns, I was hyping them up a little, and I just don't see it anymore. All right, the Saints and Packers, what everyone figured would be an amazing game. Breeze versus Rodgers. That would be awesome. But no. Why? Because there is no Rodgers. This is the main factor on why I think the Saints are going to win this game. This is going to be their first complete game without Aaron Rodgers. And he is a huge part of that offense, obviously. And with Drew Brees at quarterback, I feel like just with him, I feel like he'll be able to quarterback this team past the Packers. And they do have other dominant players, but losing Aaron Rodgers is huge. I think the Saints will win 27-14. Jaguars and Colts. Jaguars lost to the Rams last week? Yes, they did. Colts lost to the Titans. The Jaguars are a surprising team this year. The Colts are having their troubles with injuries. I think it's Jacksonville's week this week, getting the win over the Colts 27-17. Rams and the Cardinals, both these teams won last week, like I just said. Rams beat the Jaguars. Cardinals beat the Buccaneers. Rams, I think, are also having a very surprising season. I don't think people expected this out of this team yet. Maybe in future years, but it might be coming early for them. Arizona, Adrian Peterson came out of nowhere last week. Maybe he's the answer to David Johnson being out. Sure looks like it. And I think the Rams, though, I think they have a better defense. Their offense is pretty good. And I think they will get the win over the Cardinals, 23-13. All right, the New York Jets and the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins beat the Falcons last week. That was crazy. No matter how bad the Jets seem, and no matter how good the Patriots seem, they always seem to play a close game. It was only a one-score game, and the Jets were winning for a good majority of it in the beginning. The Jets did beat Miami earlier in the season, and I think they're going to do it again, beating the Dolphins 28-20. The Ravens and the Vikings, a battle of purple. And the Ravens lost to the Bears last week, and the Vikings got to play the Packers without Aaron Rodgers. How lucky is that? But I still think, without that, I think the Vikings are a better team over the Ravens. The Ravens have been, like, up and down this year. And the Vikings, I feel like I said, are just the better team. And I think they'll win 23-16. Cowboys and 49ers. I think Dallas is going to get an easy win out of this one. There's more talk about Ezekiel Elliott getting suspended, but they keep appealing it and letting him play. So I don't know, and who knows if he'll get suspended at all this season. Who knows if he'll get suspended ever for this. But anyways, the 49ers played a close game with the Redskins, and they came out with a loss in the end. But I think Dallas will sail past San Francisco 24-20. Steelers and the Bengals. The Bengals were on a bye week last week, and the Steelers beat the Chiefs. I told this to Sweater earlier this season. He is a Steelers fan. I said, this season, I feel like you guys are going to beat the good teams and lose to the bad teams. And so far, that seems like what has happened. And anyways, I don't think Cincinnati, who's kind of like below average in teams, I don't think they are going to be able to beat Pittsburgh. I think their offense is just too dominant, and Cincinnati is struggling. And I think the Steelers will win 24-14. Chargers and the Broncos. The Chargers could have beat the Broncos, or at least got into overtime with them earlier in the season, but their kicker missed the field goal. And that allowed the Broncos to win. And even though Trevor Siemian is a little hurt, I still think the Broncos will win this game. The Chargers have looked pretty good, though, in recent weeks. But I think Denver's defense is just so good that I think it'll help them get the win, 17-13. Falcons and the Patriots. Okay, the Patriots have been one of the worst defenses this year, and Atlanta is a very high-powered offense. You got Julio Jones, Devontae Freeman, Matt Ryan. Like, that's just, those three alone are great. And this game I honestly think could go either way, because of how bad the Patriots defense has been doing this season. And Tom Brady has been struggling a little. He's still doing great, but for Tom Brady, he's been struggling a little. But going into Foxborough and winning is a hard thing. And I think it'll be high scoring, but I think the Patriots will get the win in the end, 34-31. A close game. I think this could go either way, though. The Eagles and the Redskins. The Redskins have Terrell Pryor in their offense, but for some reason are like avoiding to use him and like his height and his speed. I don't know why. And the Eagles are having a great season. And what are they? 6-1, I think. 5-1. I think they're 5-1. And anyways, so yeah, the Redskins keep playing these really close games against teams they should be easily beating. And the Eagles, like I said, are doing great. And I think just what I'm saying about both of these teams, I think that means the Eagles are going to win this game in my mind, 24-17. The bye weeks for this week are the Detroit Lions and the Houston Texans, and my record up to date is 53-38. So I'm positive by 15, but I'm honestly shocked at how good my record is with how crazy this NFL season has been. Teams beating teams that you wouldn't think would, and other things like that, other factors. But thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in Kleschka Picks week number 8.